Yo, welcome to another video. Today I am doing a AMA for y'all. I reached out to a couple of my friends through group chats, through the internet, social media and stuff like that. And I'll say, hey, got a question you want to ask me? Fucking send it to me. And these are those questions. Question number 1. What's your go-to comfort food? My go-to comfort food has to be, I'm gonna say chili. I feel like at least in the last like 3 or 4 years, my brother and I have been cooking a lot of chili lately. Not for any competitions or anything, but just for the sake of like good food. I remember like buying a lot of cans of chili for a really long time and like adding to it, changing up the spices, like I don't know, like I said, just adding to it. And it was just really wholesome. My brother makes a really good chili. We scoured the internet for all different types of chili advice, and once we finally got down to it, it was, I don't know, it was like a sping spang spong, like we just got it done, and it was absolutely awesome. Anytime we do get to make it, we have friends like reaching out like, yo, like, let me get a bowl. Like one of my biggest compliments was bringing a bowl of it to one of my coworkers, and she's like, well, I don't actually like chili and stuff like that. And we're like, well, just, you know, try it out. And they did, and they're like, you know what, I don't like chili, but I like your chili. It's like, that's it right there. That's the fucking that's the mother's tip right there. On to the next. Question number 2. Do you have a favorite book or TV show? I definitely have a favorite TV show. I mean, like top like 5, no particular order, excluding like animes and stuff like that. I would say my top shows gotta be like How I Met Your Mother, Community, excluding cartoons. I don't know, fuck. I have a lot of good shows that I always like cycle back to, but I think choosing favorites is hard, you know what I mean? That's why like top 3 particular order is like always good for me. But even then it's difficult. I only have like the 2-3 shows or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes shows and stories really do impact me for all different types of reasons. I'm sure a lot of you feel this way too. But yeah, I was like, it's really hard for me to choose favorites. I just, you know, sometimes things are just there to enjoy them. Next question. How do you balance work, school, and social life? Good question. I don't. I am constantly struggling between wanting to do one thing or the other. I always find that, and a lot of the things that I like to do in my life, I have to make some kind of sacrifice or compensation. But you know, that's like normal. Like I feel like most adults, like we can't have it all. I mean, we would love to have it all, but you know, because we can't have it all, we just do what we got to enjoy life for a little bit longer than we would have if we were just, you know, whittling away and grinding out like a really uncomfortable like situation where like, oh, if I don't get this done, then I can't do all this other stuff. But then like if you ignore that and go do this other stuff and then not have enough time, you might not be as satisfied or accomplished into doing what you know you should have done rather than what you wanted to go do. I don't know. Does that make sense? That one's a really hard question, but yeah. I don't know. I don't balance it. Fuck balancing it, bro. You don't need the balance, you just need the grades. Anyways, next question. What's your biggest fear? What's your biggest fear? My biggest fear is drowning. I think like I hear a lot of this, oh, you know, when you drown, it's like really terrible at first, but then when you let go and let all the water, like no way, bro. There's no way I'm like letting go. I'm fighting until the end. I'm suffering until the end. Like I will probably like pass out from like fighting so much and the stress and whatnot. I don't know. That's just super scary. I'd rather be lit on fire. Like I feel like you're on fire for a hot minute and then like your body goes in a shock and you either fall asleep and die or I don't know. Fuck it. Like yeah, that sounds terrible. Biggest fear. Yeah, definitely drowning. Or I've got like really bad. Like an Achilles complex. I really don't want to be forgotten. My good friend Neil and I were talking about how like you have 2 deaths, one where you actually die, and then the second where like people stop talking about you. Kind of like what's the movie with the small boy and the guitar and he goes in the afterlife? I'm gonna hold on. I gotta look it up. Oh, Coco, yes. When, yeah, that one hits. If you haven't seen that movie, that one hits. It'll make you cry and make you choke up, and if it doesn't, you might want to get that checked out. Anyways, on to the next. What are your top 3 love languages for showing love and receiving it, because they can be different? I think my top 3 love languages are... I have to look them up. I have to look them up. My top 3 are probably quality time, words of affirmation, and acts of service. I think those are my receiving. Like, words of affirmation, I like when people are nice to me. Acts of service, I like when people are nice to me. But quality time over those 2, just because we could just be like, I mean, at least for my close friends and the people that I really care about, we could just be sitting there and doing nothing for a really long time. And I just feel like this is perfect, you know, just hanging out with the people that I really enjoy. Absolutely just enjoying our spiritual energy. And as for receiving, as for showing it, did I just say those are the ones that I would receive? The ones that I would want to receive are words of affirmation, acts of service, and quality time. With quality time being on top. The ones that I usually give out are acts of service as my top, words of affirmation as my second. I personally don't feel like I give out quality time sometimes, and it's sometimes really stressed, like when people like confide in me, or if we're like having to talk about something stressful. It's not, I guess, I don't know. I guess like it's gonna be three, like the same kind of thing backwards. I don't know. I'm thinking about it too much. I don't like it. Whatever. On to the next. What makes you feel most supported and understood when you're going through some shit? What makes you feel most supported and understood when you're going through some shit? I think tying back into love languages thing, I think that usually when I'm going through some shit, I like to take time away from everybody and really dig into myself and make sure that I am doing the stuff that I'm supposed to be doing, because you know, I think that everybody goes through something, you know what I mean? Like, your stress isn't gonna be the same as my stress, and even if we were going through the same kind of thing, we're always gonna be reacting to it differently because we're different people. And so I think that when I'm going through shit, I like to take time away and just be with myself and just check on the things that I'm supposed to. Like, you know, like if I can't make things go right, I'm gonna make sure that I'm taking care of myself. Like drinking enough water, eating enough food, getting enough sleep, you know, exercising, doing the things that I love, being around the people that I want to be around when I need it. But yeah, like just making sure my vitals are okay is like one of the most important parts about, you know, like not having, like when shit is just like raining down on you, like fuck it, bro. Like as long as I'm like healthy, you know what I mean? I guess that's like the first step to being better. I don't know. Or just like getting through it. Okay, reading this question again. What makes you feel most supported and understood when you're going through some shit? I answered it as if like, what do I do when I'm going through some shit? But what makes me feel most supported? I think personal space. Yeah, like I was saying, like taking time to myself, like being able to like have my friends and the people that I care about understand me enough to be like, he just needs some time to be with himself right now. Like don't bother him for a little bit. Like he'll come back. Like it'll be okay. I'm kind of like a cat. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna leave the house. I'm gonna go cause a ruckus and I'll be back. You know, like you might have not seen me for a couple, but I'll be back. All right, on to the next. I'm spending way too much time on that thought. How long do you think it would take you to consume 40 hot dogs with buns, and what would be your plan of attack? I'm a big foodie guy. I can eat a lot of food in one sitting. I purposely don't eat that much anymore because it just doesn't make me feel good. I think I have a problem with self-control, so I will sit there and eat and eat and eat before I know it, I'll just not feel good. But 40 hot dogs, it'll probably take me like 3 hours, maybe less, if the hot dogs are constantly like piping hot every time it comes out. Somebody's like lathering like some mustard or something on them. Yeah, probably like 3.5 hours. My plan of attack would be like start slow, chew well. My preparation for the 40 hot dogs would be like try to consume as much water as I can the day before, or like the following days before, you know what I mean? Like to try to expand my stomach as much as possible and like fit as much hot dogs as I can in there. And I think that would be it. I don't know. I don't think I'd ever want to try that. The only like food challenge that I've done in these last couple of years would be like, again, my friend Neil and I, we used to sit around and see if we could eat whole like Taco Bell boxes, like the party packs with like the 24 tacos. We'd each eat one, like just like monsters, just sitting there chilling. Anyways, on to the next. What is something you've struggled with throughout your life, and how did you or are you overcoming it? I don't know, this one's hard. I feel like there's always something. There's always a hill to climb, you know what I mean? I think that there's, I think of like mental health, like life, like athletics, all kind of like within the same like struggle under the same kind of tree. So you, like people work out, for instance, and this is what I mean. It's like people work out for a really long time. You don't ever stop working out. You just kind of like either lose motivation or you get injured or need to take time off for whatever reason, mental health and stuff like that. But it's not something that you ever stop working on. That's like your body. You never stop working on it. You never get to a point where it's going to be perfect. You know, there's all these benefactors like body dysmorphia that you need to think about. Like sometimes you will just look at yourself and be like, fuck, like I need to do something better than this. I need to get to the next level. And I think that is just something that I think about when it's like all the things that I'm struggling with, all the things that I am doing and trying to overcome, like I'm constantly working on that. One of my biggest examples of this would be growing up realizing that I'm not going to be like 6 foot or anything like that. I'm like 5'7" and I'm pretty short, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm very confident in who I am. I think that I have a lot of good qualities to bring to the table. I find that, you know, one of my coworkers once said this to me in like completely different, in a different context. It was like, nobody realizes your imperfections as much as you do. And I think that one hit home. I think that one is something that I try to resonate with when I am really being, you know, insecure and stuff like that. Just like, damn, like, oh, do I really think I'm this important enough for people to really notice that I'm like, you know, like fucking not that tall? Like, no, bro, like people think you're taller because you're, you know, holding yourself well and you're not bringing attention to it. So I don't know. That's just my mentality of it. I'm really happy with who I am. So I just, you know, keep working on it, and hopefully one day you too will fucking have as much mental issues as me. Yeah. On to the next. What's your favorite anime and why? Back to the whole like show thing. It's really hard for me to choose favorites, especially when it comes to media and stuff like that. I think that like the ones that come to mind immediately are like Dragon Ball Z, because I've been rewatching that and it's been really good for just like, you know, overcoming impossible odds is always like really great. I don't really, what's the word? I don't really attach well to things that don't apply to me very well. But even the most outrageous and the most unique individuals in these shows like really, I don't know, attached to me. I don't really know how to explain that, but my favorites would be like Dragon Ball Z, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I really liked Gurren Lagann because of the whole like, oh, if you can't believe in yourself, believe in me because I believe in you. I think that one hits nice because, you know, sometimes you have your friends that don't believe in themselves and are very unsure of what they're doing, and sometimes they just need that push from their greatest friend or somebody that really believes in them, like convince them otherwise, you know what I mean? It's like, yo, like, I'm your best pal, like, are you gonna tell me I'm wrong? Are you gonna tell me I'm wrong for like believing in you and stuff like that? Hell no, you're gonna fucking listen to me because you trust me, and like I trust you, so get this shit done. I think that one's really good too. Anyways. Last question. What anime person inspired you most during your childhood? How did it/they affect you as an adult now? Person that affected me the most, which is very interesting by the way, that this question came up, but I would say Zack Fair from Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. I played that video game a bunch of times on my PSP when I was little, and it was the first like video game that was like a solo video game that I beat by myself, because I played a lot of co-op games with my brothers, my cousins growing up, but it was the first game that it was just like for me. It was like something that only I could get attached to. Eventually when I beat the game I would pass it off to my brother so he can like try it out and play it and whatnot, but yeah, that character is like, his whole thing is that he wants to be a hero. I feel like that was very like big for me as a kid. I'm like, yeah, like I want to be a hero too. And then when I would tell my teachers and whatnot that was like my dream, my goal, even though that it came from like a video game, it was like, well, how do you intend on doing that? And I would have to step back and be like, well, you know, I could join the army, I could be a firefighter, I could be a policeman, I can, you know, do all these little things as a kid, like being as naive as I was. But as I grew up to be who I am now, and as an adult, I realized that one of the things that, you know, like even though I still strive to be a hero every single day, I do it in my own way. I do it by being kind to somebody that, you know, just like a stranger that is just coming in and just needs a smile, or just needs somebody to treat them with respect. You know, we live in such a interesting world where, you know, that's not normal sometimes. Like people will go out there and treat each other like terribly, or people will be by themselves and, you know, be really eating at themselves and like whittling away, and then somebody just comes along and is just nice to them, and they're like, maybe more people will be like that, and maybe I will continue the next day, or maybe I will have the confidence to go do something because this person was like encouraging me. Complete strangers and this and that. I think that was like really important part about my life growing up. And yeah, I'm pretty excited because that game just had a remake. I'm gonna be picking it up here soon. It just came out. But yeah, I think that's pretty big for me. I think that's just something that I still hold true to myself. Like, be a hero, do good things. Like, if somebody needs your help, like help them, ask questions later, and like if there are consequences, then we will, you know, tackle those together. You know what I mean? Yeah. Hope you guys like this video. I enjoyed doing this AMA. I really want to reach out to more of my friends and people. I think it's really nice because they ask questions catered to me, like asking me anime questions, video game questions, like philosophy questions. I really enjoy them. I find that the people around me are very wonderful, and I am very thankful that they took the time to send questions to me. So, you know, if you guys have a question for me, please throw it in the comment section, DM me through my Instagram, it'll be right here. And yeah, thank you so much again. Like, favorite, and subscribe if you want to, and have a nice day.